Hi there, my name is Jim Turner, and I'm going to give today's update on the swarm attempt. Oh, my girls are going. I just now said now. Just kind of checking things out. Looks like they're going into their navigational flights really early today. So I have this set up, particular setup. I'll just give you a little peek here. They're going into navigation early today. Usually it's around 4 or 5 o'clock, but because it was so cold yesterday, it was nippy. Uh, And so it was so cold yesterday that they they mostly stayed hunkered in. I even closed the entrance, reduced the entrance. I just opened a little while ago, about an hour or two ago. Came out, make sure everything's kosher, checked to see if I had a swarm. So it's been 36 hours since I first started noticing bees checking out my baited nukes. And the first day I noticed them, there was a lot of them in the peach tree. I mean, the cherry tree about 60 yards away, a lot of them. I thought they already swarmed in. Yesterday, and the next day there was just a few, and yesterday there was, so yesterday would have been 48 hours. So um, yesterday there was virtually none. And today, same thing, except for just now I went and checked up in the cherry tree, and there's about a half a dozen just walking in and around the entrance, in and out like they own the place. So, but I'm not sure if they're just in there because of the lemongrass oil. They smelled it. They're just in there trying to scrape it off. I don't know. It's hard to say. But yeah, yesterday, if would have been 36 hours, or is that today? Today's 36 hours since I first noticed, and no swarm. But I think yesterday might have put a damper. Boy, these girls are really getting an early navigational flight today. I rarely ever see them out this early doing their navigation. Like I said, they got backed up yesterday. So what I have set up in here on my particular design that I came up with on my hive last fall, out of desperation initially, and then I noticed, oh, it's good for this and that and that and that and that. I'm going, wow, I don't even have to go into my hive unless I'm going to do a split or get some honey or something, um, or unless I notice something that's nefarious that I need to get in there and check. So I have this observational panel system that I designed, and so I can tell everything that's going on. And I also noticed when I first started noticing this, I'm gonna tell you. When I first started noticing it, I didn't know what's going on. I'm going, what is those things on? What is those little things? Because I have this three-tier magnifying glass. One magnifies the other if I need it. One magnifies the other if I need it. Typically, I only need one. Sometimes, man, I want to get a big, close look up. What's going on? And so when I started seeing these little tiny things that look like eggs, right? But they're like darker, like a brownish something. Sometimes black. They look like eggs. And then it didn't dawn on me till many months later that was bird poop. That was bee poop. Yeah, they're pooping inside the hive. Well, why are they pooping inside the hive when they actually don't do that? Well, here's why. Another good reason to have an observational panel. Louise, I want to show you something. Check this out. She's hanging on the comb. Watch what happens. See that? It's not on the floor. It's just gone. It's just gone. Auto poop remover. Right? Because when they poop inside the hive, it's gone. Disappears. Because it drops to my 8-inch hardware cloth onto my observational panel. And their floor is always clean. They can go poop all they want in there. And have they discovered that? Well, all the poop I'm seeing on my observational panel, I'd say, yeah, the proof is in the pudding, right? We can deny our eyeballs, or we can say, my eyes just see what they see. I can deny it all I want. It doesn't change the fact of what I'm looking at. That is definitely an apple. I'm trying to make it into a planet in my head, but it's an apple. You know, we can deny that observation all we want, because just because our brain can't process it doesn't mean our brain can't process it, because it can. We just need to be honest with ourselves, right? So I choose to be honest with myself. Honest Jen, that's what I am. I never lie. I never tell stories that aren't true. And if I do, I give all the telltale signs of that, you know. And so I make it obvious that, you know, I'm just playing. And so those were all turds. I was like, what are all these hundreds of, this is like eggs? What, like dropping? Is she dropping her eggs? You know, and it's bee poop. So my bees, if they don't want to, you know, they just walk and drop. You know, they're just, look at that, man. See that? Isn't that cool? You don't have to go outside on a rainy day. We don't have to go out on a wintry snow. We don't have to go out. You know, we just go right in. And they create that culture of going inside the hive and not having to come out. Kind of like the bees ain't stupid, first of all. It's kind of like the varroa mites. Um, I use the sugar shake to create a social environment where they groom each other. And when the next ones are born, they're seeing each other, they're grooming each other now and then. And they don't even think about it. It's just like, you know, when a baby's born, over time they learn language, whatever language their parents have, whatever. Same thing. Yeah. They're born into that cultural set, and they don't have, it's not, for them it's not learning, it's just, it becomes part of what they do once they're born and come out of their cell, and then they're looking around, then it just gets processed in. And it's not about learning, it's just about, they can see, they got eyeballs. They got 6,500 lenses in each eye, and they got two eyes, so what is that? That's 1,300 lenses. They can see pretty well, but they use digital format to see. Their colors are totally different. What they see, um, yeah, it's digital. Much like the auto driving vehicles that are now hitting the roads, they don't use our way of vision. Uh, they use pixels. Every pixel represents, or a cluster of, or a certain kind of cluster, color, shapes. Every pixel represents an object, an individual object, down to the very pixel. You know, your camera is what, like this video I'm taking right now is 1080 pixels, right? 1080 pixels per square inch. And so that's a lot of pixels. When I was a kid, you know, it was, color was just coming. Well, it wasn't out yet, but it was coming. And I think those were like 180 or something to start with, 180 pixels. But back then, it seemed like when color came out, it seemed like a clear picture. But if you took the box TVs, the tube TVs back then in the 60s, mid 60s, the color ones, and you put them against an HD TV or the modern one, the 4K, and you kind of turn them on, you go, oh wow, gosh, I was really deprived as a child. I was I was visually being abused by neglect of quality picture. Yeah, and so yeah, these girls are navigating. So what I did over here was they were struggling. There was this one girl. I could tell it was the same girl. She had the same posture every day. Anytime I was out here just kind of checking things out, taking my breaks, whatever, she had the exact same posture, and it was different than every other single bee. There wasn't one single bee that was coming in or out of that hive over here, the swarm one. Not one single bee looked like this one, what it was doing. It was funny to watch. What she did was she adopted a outwing posture, permanent one, permanent one. So I'd come out here, I noticed that about 4 days in a row when I'd come out, do my thing here. And she was always had the same posture. She never looked relaxed. You know, bees when relaxed, their wings are tucked behind them on their sides. This one never. It was. She was. So like on the fourth day, I noticed that in a row. I knew it was her. She's the only one. There could be only one. When there was only one, and she would run across the front because I had the whole front open when I first transferred. I left the whole open so they can easily, the lost ones could easily find their way in. And I just made a little hole yesterday for the first time. That was almost a week and 3 days. I finally made a little entrance. I'll just show you real quick. So I made a little entrance now, and so they got a little entrance. And that whole strip was open, like this one is here. I just opened that one up. There was too many bees. I closed it at night because it was cold, but I'll open it up during the day if it gets busy. And so now they got this little entrance, and so there was this girl. She was running back and forth in that wide open entrance, back and forth and back and forth, with her wings all spread out, you know, all spread out. Like, I'm big and I'm tough and I'm rough and I'm going to cover this whole strip. And she did, all by herself. That girl, she covered that whole strip. Let me even this out a little bit. She covered that whole strip by herself. There was no other bees guarding that whole long entrance but her. And she'd come up. Oh, I think that's her right there. She would come up because she's running back and forth all day on that entrance, checking every bee. Show me your badge, show me your badge, show me your badge. She did that. Anytime I was here, that's what she was doing. Show me. She would investigate any bee that got close to her that was coming out, even the ones, no, going in, even the ones coming out. She would bump them. Let me see. Let me see. You got your multi-pass? She was checking every single bee that happened to be in her vicinity. She was running back and forth. And I kept a little dish of sugar water out in front, and she was always in. She was the only one that goes in that thing. So I keep, there she is right now, she's there. So I keep a lift just for her. She's the only one that's eating this. All the other ones, they're going out and getting plenty of nectar, giving in the pollen. They're getting it. But she ain't going nowhere, right? She's the guard, and she's the only guard. And she's doing all that running back and forth, getting exhausted, and she comes up and she gets that sugar water. She starts to get recharged, you know, and back and she goes running back and forth. Her wings are spread out. So I was about the fourth day, I was thinking, I don't even think that girl can fly. Her wings are stuck out. And all of a sudden, she jumps up and buzzes all around the front of that hive. I go, well, that takes care of that. That presupposition. She flies just fine. And then she landed back on the board, walked back up to the little feeding dish, recharged, back and forth, guard, 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 guard. I just find that entertaining. It's just interesting. And now, but what's today now? Actually, I did that right last night. I closed it. So today she ain't doing that. She got that whole strip to run back and forth. Multi-pass, multi-pass, multi-pass. Let me see it, let me see it. She was bumping all of them. She was annoying them too. She was like a pest to them in front of the hive. But she was doing a good job, right? Yeah, she was doing a good job. All by herself. And that's her right up there. She's the only one that's got those wings out. She's still, here, I'll let you see her. I should name this one. She's the only one that has her wings all spread out like that. Right? She's the only one. Look, you can see how her wings are spread out? She's the only one, and she hangs around right there now since I closed the entrance. You can see how she's got her wings spread way out, where all the other bees have their wings tucked in when they're walking around. So when they're walking around, you can see here, all the wings are tucked in, except for the fanners. See? That one over there? Her wings are out all the time. I'm rough and I'm tough and I'm big and I'm strong. Don't come by me. I'll get you. I just think that's interesting. Yeah, she hangs a lot around that yellow one because I keep that full. Try to keep some in there just for her. Guard, 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 guard. Multi-pass, multi-pass. I don't know. Just entertaining, you know. Some people put money in a slot machine and go shh. Grab some more money and shh. Where's that charge card? Yeah. Here's my entertainment. And yeah, man, they're doing this navigation really early. Yeah, see here? Really early. I'll just kind of put you right up there. I rarely see them navigate that early. They were navigating before I came out. Very interesting. Yeah, so back to the swarming. So back to the swarming. Swami. So I went up to the front. This morning there was no activity in the cherry tree up front. And I went back there an hour ago and there was about a half a dozen just hanging around. I think they're just nibbling on the lemongrass oil, I think, maybe. Just because I put some lemongrass oil, tapped it around the entrance, on the inside of the entrance, the ring right on the inside, or on the outside. And I got a bag, a Ziploc baggie with a Q-tip that what I do is I'll take this bottle of lemongrass oil and I'll take my Q-tip and just do this with my Q-tip until I can see my Q-tip starting to get some on it, about, mostly full or close, and that's it, and that's all I use. That's all I use. And this bottle is still more than half full. I've had it for 2-3 years, and I've used it quite a bit, but I use it sparingly. I only use it as needed. Not I spray it all. Let's paint it on the walls. Nah, this is strong stuff. You don't need a little dab it, do you? Not even a drop, really. Yeah, not even. Yeah, it's so powerful. Fills the air. I got some on my hand, and they're all buzzing all around me. Hey! And then I put my hands up, they're landing on my hands. And so I did see some buzzing around my beta nukes over here earlier today, and I've seen some up in Peachtree, but nothing serious. I'm starting to be able to tell when they're looking not serious and maximum serious and all between. And I'm starting to judge which one. I'm starting to get this sense of which body language is most serious. Whether they're just looky-loos. I don't know, the wallpaper in here ain't that great, I don't like the color on the walls either. The floor is just not. They can be picky like that. I kid you not. Yeah, they are looking for something specific, and it's up to us as the swarm catchers to figure out exactly what that is. And it could be geographic too. Maybe these bees are used to certain kinds of woods or certain kinds of looks. Yeah, just so many things, You're like, wow. And so please subscribe, thumbs up. Use it. Look at it as like a tip. When you go to a restaurant, you leave a tip. Well, by clicking the subscribe button and ringing the bell and thumbs up, it's like the same as using. That's like leaving a tip. Just leave me a tip, please. Appreciate that. Yeah, it doesn't cost a dime either. Not even a penny. Just a little effort, And you're all subscribed in. Now, folks who don't have an account with YouTube, it's really simple. Like when we create an account with Google or Facebook or something like that, or another social media type of outlet, you just create an account. And what I did is I created an account with YouTube through Google. So they transferred my picture and all that onto my YouTube account. And I was signed up with YouTube with an account, I don't know, 10 seconds. It was so fast. They said, you want to sign up with YouTube using your Google? Tap. I was done. Well, I did create my handle name, Jimmy Turner 64. Other than having to type that in, boom, I had a YouTube account. Did you know YouTube used to be, they started out as a dating service? Yeah. Dating service. Yep. And they didn't see it going anywhere, so that it kind of morphed, evolved into what it is today. Yeah. And that is YouTube today. Anyway, how are you doing too? Hey, what you got to share today, huh? Got some ideas? Shoot. Yeah, so I cut that whole way down over there to the peach hive, the swarm box. The swarm. She's. I think she doesn't know what to do now. The one with the one walking around. She's like, she just roams around. I don't know what to do. I had a job, you know. Those iBots came over, and I'm out of work. I just hang out. Oh yeah. Yeah, she hangs out a lot around that little yellow one. So that's the only one that I now refill. And just for her, I don't see generally any other bees ever going in there except for maybe I'll call her Wingy. One Wingy Dingy. Uh, and so that's kind of my day today. And so it's been 36 hours, no swarm. Now I'm thinking that maybe um, there's still a possibility. It's only like 2 o'clock or something. It's still possible. It's possible. Bees are swarming every day. And so if I get if I have any news to share, I'll share that. All right, that's kind of my story today, and I'm sticking with it. And so please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell, leave a comment. I respond to all my comments, except for ones I'm going, huh? What? I'm not really sure how to do. What? I'll just give it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Bye now. Oh, the navigation has gone way down. Wow, that was really early. Way down. They're almost back to normal. They're trying to catch up from not navigating yesterday. Heck, that means they still might navigate later on this afternoon. That might have been yesterday's navigation. And yesterday's navigation came out around noonish, and today's navigation might come out like they normally do, which is around 5ish. I'll wait and see. That's another story in itself, right? Bye now.